currently spending about $3,000 a day on advertising, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, and the only reason why that means absolutely anything to you is because over the last year, spending almost $1 million on advertising, I've learned a lot of lessons, some good, some bad, some ugly, but what I want to do in this video is to share with you my biggest lessons learned, my 5 biggest takeaways to help you get to the point where you can scale up your advertising spend, because while $3,000 a day might seem like a lot, when you understand that the average return on ad spend for myself is about 2.5 to 3x, so that means that if I spend about $3,000 a day on Facebook ads, I'm going to make anywhere from $6,000 to $9,000 a day, and to be completely honest, the majority of times it's actually over $10,000 a day. So now I'm at the point where I've gathered enough data to share with you the costly mistakes that you can avoid and the things that you can do right now in order to start getting better results with your Facebook ads. What's up guys, it's Mike Sherrard. Welcome back to my channel, and if you do get any value from this video and the transparent insight I'm about to share with you, all that I ask in return is one of these to inspire me to keep putting out multiple videos every single week for you. So I know your time is valuable. I don't want to waste a second of it. Let's dive straight into the top 5 lessons I learned that you can learn from in order to start to get better results with your advertising. So a couple of these are going to hit you a bit out of left field, including number 1, which is you have to actually believe in what you're doing with your advertising, with a couple different angles to approach this with. So let me explain. I run my Facebook ads for my online training program showing real estate agents how to drastically scale their business using social media marketing, and it's worked wonders for thousands of agents and completely changed their business, helping these agents double, triple, quadruple their business within a matter of a year. But where I want to go with this is I actually believe in the product that I'm running these ads for. And what I see time and time again is that people are very hesitant of running ads because they don't actually believe in their course, their program, their service, their skill set, or their ability to communicate, to even convert an online lead if they're doing lead generation, or to actually change people's businesses or lives with whatever program they have. They don't even inherently believe in it. And by not believing in it, what you're doing is you're limiting your scale to continue to grow, because of course you're going to be hesitant to fork thousands of dollars a day into something that you think is going to just yield endless amounts of refunds, cancellations, and disputes. So you have to believe in what you're doing in order to get to the point where you can start scaling your business. Now, the second thing again is that it takes time and full commitment. Now, let me preface this by sharing with you the trajectory of my ad spend. So right now we're in the middle of August 2021. So I started running my ads for this program back in late July of last year. So let's just say August last year to August of this year. We're about a year into it. Now, I started at $30 a day back a year ago. And to be completely transparent with you, $30 a day a year ago was actually quite a big deal for me. I was only used to spending about $10 a day, and to go up to the point where I was spending $30 a day, that was a bit of a big step to me. But then what happened was my team started saying, well, Mike, we need to spend $100 a day by week 2. And that was a big thing for me, because thinking about spending $3,000 a month based on the amount I had in my bank account last year was really hard to swallow. And it was something that made me a bit of uncomfortable. But again, I believed in the program that I had, and I believed in what this advertising would do to help other people. So I committed to it. And then by the next month, we were spending $1,000 a day. And by the next month, it was $2,000 a day. And after a matter of only 3.5 months, I went from spending $30,000 to $3,000 a day on Facebook ads. So it took a bit of time where I wasn't just spending $3,000 a day out of the gate, day one, Hail Mary, hoping to God that this is going to work out. We did it gradually, but pretty quickly. But also, it took full commitment on my end to say, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe what I have to offer is incredible. And in order to commit to this, I'm going to have to spend a certain amount of money that is unfortunately going to make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But by doing that, it's going to push you to start to gather the data, because if you don't spend enough money, you don't actually have enough data to start making educated decisions and switches for what you want to do going forward in order to get better results and to continue to grow. Otherwise, you're going to plateau. And I see this time and time again where people spend $10 a day on their Facebook ads, and then they go to create lookalike audiences and custom audiences and split testing and CBO, and they wonder why it's not working out, but they haven't even gathered enough data to get tangible results. Now that leads perfectly into number 3, which is testing is everything, and that's going to drip into number 4 here. But one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is that they come up with maybe 1 or 2 photos or videos, 1 or 2 pieces of copy where they write out a caption for their ad, and then that's it. And they start running them, and then their ad tanks after a month or a week or 3 weeks or 3 months, and then they say, well, it's broken. Facebook ads don't work anymore. So to give you some context as to what I do, I've got over 40 different pieces of creative, graphic work, video work, short form, long form, photos of me, photos not of me, photos with nobody in it. And then we also have about 13 different pieces of copy. And what we do is we start to use number 4 that I'm going to get into to mix and match these to see what is actually going to be the best results. Because what you'll see is that if you're just blindly throwing something out there and putting all of your budget behind something because you think it looks good, number 4 is going to tell you otherwise. Because what number 4 is making decisions solely based on data. I cannot tell you how many times I record with this little device right here an ad that I think is going to absolutely knock it out of the park. I think everybody's going to click on it. People are going to love it. It's so much value. It's so engaging and captivating, and it draws you in. And I really think this is going to crush it. And it is some of my worst performing ads. And then I'll take a simple graphic that we do on like Canva, for God's sakes, and then it blows it out of the water just because of the nature of conversion and what people seem to interact with. So if I was doing this based on my own assumptions and my own theories and what I think is going to perform best, I would have a failed program right now, not making any money. But because we're doing everything based on data, based on click-through rates, based on engagements, based on watch time, based on all of the different metrics that you could humanly imagine, that allows us to take this piece of copy with this creative and this call to action and this funnel page in order to mix and match, and based on data actually identify the creatives, copies, and advertising sequences that are proven to be getting us the best results. Now, number 5, the last one, is using the right tracking software for data attribution. So I'm going to say this, most people don't want to hear about it, but if you are a true marketer, you probably already know this. The data that Facebook gives you, if you're selling anything or if you're doing any online advertising, marketing, things like that, leaves a lot to be desired. I'm just going to put it that way. It's not 100% accurate. There's a lot of stuff in there that needs to be approved, and unfortunately, when you're making, based on number 4, data-driven decisions, but the data is not always 100% accurate, you start to run into trouble where you're putting significant amounts of budget behind ads that might not be actually accurate based on the data that you're making that assumption on. So what I personally use, or what my team uses, is Hyros, which is Alex Becker's tracking software, the AI tracking software. And it makes a world of a difference. And I'll put a link below where you can check it out, because this makes a massive difference for my business. I 3x their income in a few months, and this is by no means an paid advertising plug for that. I just want you, if you're going to be scaling your business and starting to spend more of your hard-earned money on advertising, I want you to have the right data that actually works, and that's going to allow you to make the educated decisions that you need to. So now, by looking at where all of the different sales come in, where all of the different clicks, where the customer journey comes from, did they start on Facebook, did they go to YouTube, did they end up here, where is all of this journey happening, what is converting the best? By having this data, it allows us to make very strategic and well-articulated moves in order to, again, continue the growth of the initiative that we're working on. So those were the 5 things that really made a difference in my business by taking myself from $30 a day all the way to $3,000 a day. And we're continuing to scale, because by the end of this year, I'd like to be about 3 times where I'm at, about $10,000 a day. So I'll get back to you on my lessons as we continue to scale, but I'd love to know if you have any comments, because I do respond to 100% of people that comment on my videos. So drop a comment if you have anything. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.